Here to celebrate a season of successful shows in New York and Milan, Hendrik is here with us to share his inspiring story. Hendrik Vermeulen is here as well. Good morning. How are you, gentlemen? It is a massive, massive pleasure and honor to have you here as well. Likewise. Hendrik, I must just say, your clothes, your fashion, your design, absolutely incredible. Born in Free State, you became a budding fashion designer. It's not something we hear of every day. When did you first learn to sew, and when did you realize you had this real passion for the fashion industry?
You know, there's actually quite a history there in the, with my grandmothers and my mother. My grandmothers were very fashionable ladies, wearing hats to church and gloves and all kinds of beautiful outfits. And my mother was making clothing, a lot of clothing for all the children, for my grandmothers, for a lot of people in the town. And very early on I got interested in that, seeing what she does. And from about age 6 I was sitting down with her, and at first she showed me how to sew on some buttons, and it just started growing from there.
Wow. And of course we can see some of the pictures from the town where you were from as well. It's really, really awesome. Now, you started off with couture and then you decided to move to ready-to-wear. When did that creative path come about for you? And for any of the viewers at home thinking, what is the difference between couture and ready-to-wear? Maybe you can explain that as well.
Well, there was not a real decision to go from couture to ready-to-wear as such. Is that I do believe that Hendrik skills is couture, which is an art form, because no one needs to be dressed in couture nowadays. The made-to-measure is just for a few, like you will have your painter, your master painting. And then through the years now, we have decided that perhaps a larger audience could benefit of that. So we don't call it prêt-à-porter, which is ready-to-wear, that people know, because in every shop that you find in our towns here in South Africa, you will find prêt-à-porter. We would like to offer a prêt-à-couture, a step just closer to the couture, which is still fitted, but it's still perhaps helping the people to cultivate their uniqueness. I think that it's time for every one of us to cultivate that uniqueness. And so we had service to the public, to our clients, and that is why we've decided now to present in New York and Milan the prêt-à-couture.
Wonderful, and we've got your ready-to-wear collection on here as well, which I think is fantastic. How do you think that it's evolved your label from couture to prêt-à-porter? How has it changed what you're delivering to the public?
Well, I would believe that, first of all, the people will feel closer to us. It is difficult to feel like you belong into the world of couture. It's just for a select clientele, this is true. But in fact, we are very approachable. It's just that our art was not dedicated for a larger audience. So
it does make it more accessible.
Yes, it does make it more accessible.
I love it, I love it. Now, you've had an exciting year, and I'm sure it's going to be an even more exciting year, having collections in New York and Milan. So amazing. What was that experience like for you, being a local designer that's actually now being put on an international platform like that?
You know, first of all, I think it was exciting to see how things are done on that side in New York and in Milan, and you know, how we compare. And I actually believe that quality-wise in South Africa, the way we put shows together is incredible. We are on par, if not even above that.
So happy. Yes,
with organizational skills, etc. Then it was also just very exciting for me to sort of experience some new cities. It was my first time in New York, so that was quite fun.
Yes, it was successful on many levels, on the very personal level. When I met Hendrik years ago, I had traveled the world, and I was telling him what I had seen. And he said, but I'm craving for that. He's been working very hard since the age of 15 and never stopped to do so. And so we landed in New York, and he had never seen snow in his life. And the first time he had snow, and it was like trying to grab those snowflakes were by -15 in Central Park, New York. I mean, as a Swiss, originally from Switzerland, I mean, for me it was in Switzerland, into a film when I was 4 years old. Exactly. For him it was Central Park. It had to be, you know, fashionable.
Well, I just want to acknowledge that your two beautiful models are on the show this morning with stunning dresses that you're not taking back with you, by the way. Security's going to stop you before you leave, because I need to have them. But bring the other model in as well. Absolutely incredible. Hendrik, is this what people can expect from you? This is gorgeous.
This was actually part of our collection that we took to Rome last year, which is called Insecta Mirabilis collection.
Yes, marvelous insects.
Yes. Which we used an inspiration of different insects, but not your sort of pretty insects, like really sort of scary, creepy, crawly insects, and to show that there's a beautiful side to it. And all these fabrics were custom designed by us, printed by Art Lab, and so everything is done from the beginning to end. In Cape Town. So nothing is pre-bought as like the prints and so on. We make everything.
It's as proudly as South African as it gets, right?
It is, absolutely.
Hendrik, JD, thank you so much for being on the show this morning. You make us so proud to call ourselves South Africans, and this is amazing. May you go from strength to strength. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Love
Thank you.
it. Kat, over to you, darling.